as on June 21st, 2020, Danny would make a shocking announcement to the world. He was pregnant.
Bro, it feels like I'm looking at a rare Pokemon right now. Bro, this has to be a museum level artifact.
I am the stone that the builder refused. I am the visual, the inspiration.
YouTube, what it do, man? It is your boy Abdul up next, and I am back with another video. I'm trying to have that energy. Tell me, did I give y'all that energy? But today I'm not really in the mood, you guys. I'm on my period. You know, I found out today that guys have periods too, bro. It's our period, and that's what I'm on today. I'm not in the mood. Save all your hate comments for another video. Today's not the day. Today we're actually going to be watching a video about a disturbing parent on TikTok, but he's pregnant. If you don't know what I'm telling you, bro, this might be the first person to ever exist of such player build. I thought the only he's that get pregnant was male seahorses with a nice little belly bump. Now, I know a few guys with belly bumps, but I thought it was from all them hot dogs and cheeseburgers and McDonald's they was eating and Arby's. If you fat and you like to eat Arby's, you deserve every bit of fatness you got. That's the guy that we have in our hands now. I'm not getting canceled today. I don't know about y'all, so y'all can say what y'all feel in the comments, but oh boy, we're keeping it clean here. Like this video before we even get started. Let's go.
Is it possible for men to get pregnant? Even in America's most
That's a question he asking y'all. Is it possible for men to get pregnant?
progressive circles, the general consensus seems to be no. However, Danny the trans dad would beg to differ. Danny, along with many other trans fathers, had adopted the title of a seahorse dad, since for seahorses, it is the male rather than the female who carries around the developing babies in his pouch and eventually.
All right, bro. We can allow it in society. We don't gotta judge at all. But you're not gonna tell me looking at a pregnant guy is still not crazy though. Like, bro, there's no way that this exists, bro. Like, I believe that this exists and I have no problem with it. But this is my first time seeing this. He really got a baseball cap and a baby in his stomach at the same time. I gotta know, did he do like some demigod glitch? Bro, the only time you see glitches like this is when they go out there and do the glitch and they risk getting banned by Ronnie 2K. Like,
carries around the developing babies in his pouch and eventually gives birth to them. 5 months later, Danny gave birth to a beautiful baby human named Wilder. I say human because according to Danny, Wilder uses gender-neutral pronouns. In fact, Danny also disliked terms like good girl or good boy because in Danny's opinion, Wilder wasn't old enough to decide her gender yet. Before we hear Wilder's story, however, we need to learn.
All right. Now we just get into outrageous comments, bro. To me, it's kind of crazy that he's gonna sit up here and say that the child has no pronouns. Old enough to decide her gender yet? You mean to tell me you don't know the gender of that child? The child don't know the gender? That sounds kind of crazy.
Her story, however, we need to learn a little more about Danny himself. Danny had always known he was trans, but didn't begin his transition from a woman to a non-binary birther until he was around 25. Prior to online fame, Danny...
So 25 years old, twin just woke up one day and said, I want to try something new. Hey, that's a different level of freedom though. That's what you call switching teams mid-game, 25.
And he worked as a nanny, or in his words, a manny. Danny the Manny, as on June 21st, 2020, Danny would make a shocking announcement to the world. He was pregnant.
Bro, it feels like I'm looking at a rare Pokemon right now. Like, bro, this has to be a museum level artifact. It feels like I'm looking at something that should be in a museum. Like, shouldn't he be in a Guinness World Record if he's one of the first people to ever do this? Look, I support everybody being whatever gender, whatever they want to do with their sexuality. But I heard pregnancy hurt, bro. You willingly got pregnant? I heard pregnancy hurt. 9 months of a baby beating it in your belly? Willingly? Hey, I feel you by liking this. But you bold, son. You doing something a lot of people wouldn't do.
Danny revealed that although he knew the sex of the baby, he did not know the baby's gender, but that he would let everyone know in around 4 or 5 years once the baby had decided. What he did decide, however, was that his baby would use they/them pronouns.
What?
This is probably the #1 asked question. Are you having a boy or are you having a girl? Yes, I know the assigned sex of my baby. I don't know the gender of my baby though, only my baby does.
So a kid gonna be 4 or 5 when they choose what gender they want to be? Come on, you know you reaching right now. You know you're reaching right now. At 4 to 5 though, you know you saying some out of nowhere heard philosophy that you just created in your head just now. You know you saying something so outrageous. Historians not gonna pay no attention to our part of future. We ain't doing shit.
At this point, Danny was only a few months pregnant, but had already created some sort of twisted wish list of traits that he hoped his child would be born with. Danny was supposedly obsessed with, quote, Down's kids, and used to send pics of Down's kids all the time when dating his ex, saying, I can't wait till we adopt one.
So he got a kink for people with Down syndrome. Right, okay.
Now to manifest a healthy baby with Down syndrome, who thinks I can make magic happen? I'm secretly hoping for my very own miracle with an extra chromosome. Manifesting a baby with Down syndrome wasn't Danny's only disturbing wish, as he also seemed to fetishize the idea of having a black baby. Danny appeared to be subtly hinting that his baby's biological father was black, when
he talking about his baby daddy. Oh my God, bro. Where do you people be coming from, bro? Like, where do these type of people even exist? These type of people do not. LGBTQ exist in real life. A guy with a Down syndrome kid, these type of people do not exist. Like, just imagine you went to school with somebody who was posting weird shit. I'll treat that dude like he had COVID, boy.
reality, Danny had no idea if his baby was black or not, because he didn't even know who the baby's other father was. More on that topic a bit later. Thankfully, the rest of Danny's pregnancy went well, and on November 28, 2020, Wilder Wakefield was born. According to Danny, Wilder's gender was yet to be determined, but that their sex was female. Danny had recorded the entire process, posting photos and videos online for the entire world to see. Although this footage clearly showed his love for Wilder, many people were beginning to notice that Danny didn't really have a private life, as he shared everything online. Instagram had even removed some of Danny's posts for alleged nudity. While Danny is a grown man and can do as he pleases.
Bro, imagine you just opened up your timeline to pregnant dick. Like, bruh, come on, bruh. He posted pregnant dick on the timeline, bruh. Why you posting pregnant dick on the timeline, bro? There's just some things we don't want to see. Ice Spice posts once every 3 months. But here comes dude, pregnant dick, all on the screen, bro. Like, God, hate my life.
So against gendering his infant because the baby quote-unquote didn't know their gender yet, but was perfectly okay with pointing a camera 24/7 on the same baby who also couldn't consent to being filmed yet. Not to mention, these cameras were shoved in Wilder's face the literal second they were born.
Like, bro, why am I looking at a baby fresh out the cooter coop? Bro, that's not cool. Twin didn't even get a chance to breathe. He still looked like an avatar. Like, dang, bro, he still look like an avatar right now. Can he get a second?
In the weeks and months that followed, Danny and Wilder's health remained in good standing. However, Danny's pockets were running dry. After all, children are quite expensive, and Danny was a single parent. Danny reached out to his followers for donations to cover expenses like rent and Wilder's preschool tuition. Luckily for Danny, he seemed to have quite a lot of supporters. Danny
I would love to support that, you know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with supporting.
Also created an Amazon wish list for items he was, quote, in need of, including a Yeti cooler for traveling with Wilder's donor milk. Danny was asking for quite a lot from his followers, especially because he had nothing.
Oh, nah. Nah, you crazy. First, you willingly went through pregnancy and your baby daddy not there. You willingly put yourself in the single mom situation. You woke up one, look, I love you, twin. I love your decision and support your sexuality. But waking up one day to be a single pregnant mom is just not the smartest decision. A married mom, yeah. Maybe not even having kids. Like, pregnancy is 9 months of pain, twin. My man's going through postpartum willingly. He willingly said, I want a period. I'm on my period right now. I get it. I know it. I know. But you woke up and said you wanted period. Like, I get it. One and did. I think you deserved it without all of the extra stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Danny wrote that when he was 6 months pregnant, he did the footwork necessary and found Wilder's sperm donor, who, as he hinted to earlier, was supposedly black. Danny stated, "I'll speak more to this when I'm ready, in a separate post." So what did this post say exactly? Some things that I often get asked are, how long did it take you to conceive Wilder? And how did you choose Wilder's donor? For almost a year, I spent dodging questions about how Wilder was conceived out of shame.
Wait. So you're telling me he don't got a dad? We just naturally call him a donor? That's what we're getting called men now? That's how we're treating men? Yo, this is crazy. They said, who's his donor? What if Twin married? What if he got some main dick? That's crazy. You think my mans don't got no main chick dick?
You see, I wasn't trying to conceive, nor do I know who Wilder's donor is.
How you getting one night standed too? You don't know who the dad is? So you chose to be a Bob. Go through that postpartum willingly. Now you's a Bob too. You might as well come back. You might. Bro, girls have it harder, gang. They have it a lot harder. And use a Bob. Hey, sheesh, bro. Pick a struggle, bro.
Notice the language Danny uses here. He refers to Wilder's biological father as the donor in order to degrade the father to solely his sperm. In the end,
Like what?
Danny admitted that Wilder was likely conceived during a one-night stand while he was on
So he's an accident too?
and then it happened. A 2-day relapse in my and addiction. But this one was different. I had never relapsed on for just 2 days. It had always led to months. But this time, I stopped. And I couldn't understand how at the time. But now, I realize why. That 2-day relapse at the beginning of 2020 changed my life forever.
Dude woke up and wanted to play on harder game mode. Like he woke up one day and put his game on Hall of Fame. He put his game on Hall of All Madden. He playing on All Madden. Like you did not have to play on All Madden. You chose to play on All Madden.
A lot of people claim that I'm confusing my child by raising them in a gender neutral way. I have hundreds of comments that say, poor child. CPS should remove that child. And people say ignore it, but there's only so much you can ignore. So right now we're in Wilder's playroom. One of the things that felt really important to me when I was creating this room was that it be as gender neutral as possible. It's not a pink or a blue nursery. It's a room for Wilder. We've got trucks, we've got dinosaurs, we've got Barbies, we've got dolls, we've got books about being your truest self.
Danny reiterated the fact
Why is my skin crawling? My stomach is jumping up and down. I'm not gonna lie. Bro, why they had to put scary music behind it? It just feels scarier. Like he's saying some very regular stuff right now, but I'm kind of like hurting in my stomach. I ain't gonna lie. But Gang seemed like a pretty cool mother, father. Whatever you go by, I respect whatever you go by, and I just want to let that be known. But Gang seemed like a pretty cool parent. No cap.
that he had made this choice before Wilder was even born.
I decided to raise Wilder as gender neutral and to practice gender creative parenting really from the beginning, before Wilder was even born. I've seen how our gendered stereotypes impact children and their experience in the world, and I didn't want that to happen for Wilder. Kids at school ask Wilder, are you a boy or a girl? And Wilder says, I'm Wilder. And that's it, then they go back to playing.
Danny even suggested that his critics were simply uneducated on the topic.
What would you say to people who think that you are confusing Wilder?
I think a lot of people who claim that I'm confusing my child by raising them in a gender neutral way are people who just haven't had the education or experience themselves to understand why I'm doing this or how gendered stereotypes impact kids.
Telling your child straight up that they have no gender in school before they even get to choose is just insane to me. That's the only thing that's kind of throwing me off, bro. Respect the child, at least like making the decision to be whatever they want, but like you gonna start them off like that? I didn't even know they spawn like that.
Later in the video, Danny gives us a tour of the farm he lives on, introducing us to his collection of animals, including a particularly unique hen.
We have 3 cats, we've got 2 parrots, we've got pigs and chickens and alpacas and goats.
See, like you just know somebody crazy when they can casually up an alpaca in your face, bro. You can't tell me you not thrown off in the head if you just casually got Narnia out your crib. Bro, you crazy? You upping alpacas on me? All the things we could be doing right now, I'm bro riding an alpaca. You think you in Pokemon?
Danny opened up about his mental health struggles in an interview with Style Like You.
But those feelings of anxiety and depression kept getting worse, and other things started happening. Around 11 months is when the intrusive thoughts really started creeping in.
You were having thoughts about harming.
Yeah, so I was having intrusive thoughts about harming my child. This person who I love more than anything in the entire...
And then you openly say you were having thoughts about putting their hands on your own seed. And says it with a straight face.
...entire world. How could I be having...
This dude's beyond insane, bro. I'm not gonna lie, he's all types of lost in life, bro. Shout out to these 4 people right here. 4 people get a shout out at the end of every video if they like the video, and let me know they liked it in the comment section. So just comment that you liked the video and I'll give you a shout out in the next video, man.